Good morning. This is Nate G. It is September 15th, OPEX Friday. And I just want to revisit something we talked about yesterday. And we'll talk about again and again and again and again, right? Um, because it's just important. It doesn't always happen, right? It doesn't always happen. But we kind of blocked these days out yesterday for OPEX. This is uh, Thursday of the previous week, what we call a pit bull, what we call a pit bull low, which was actually put in, um, and this is Thursday, Friday of last week, and then this Monday through Friday is OPEX week, and generally I come in and I mark the gap between Thursday and Friday of a pit bull low Thursday, Friday. And I just put a mark in there so I know where we're at, which is this blue line. There was no real gap, but that was just, we closed here and then we opened here and we moved up. And you'll see what happens on an OPEX week, right? You'll see, we put in this, that we literally on the morning of the Pitbull low Thursday, we put in that low. And basically we've moved up. Yesterday we were really moving up, and I was on yesterday when we were up here at this 450 level, on the SPY, and I drew, I had this line in here, and then there's this large VP line above it that you can see at 440, almost 446. And I drew this line when we were talking about it, and I said, it doesn't always happen, and you can't like count on it happening 100%, but what typically happens is we get this rollover, and I do this little arrow, and we come back into this area that we kind of somewhat started the week at, right? I mean, technically, if you go to Monday, we started the week way up here. But I always mark that OPEX Thursday, Friday gap, and we come back into that by Friday. We would just basically suck out premium, get people to jump in, think we're going long, and then say, nope, we're coming all the way back here. A lot of times what it'll do is it'll go up, it'll go down below the line, and then it'll come back in. But really, more often than not, we see these things, move up, and then by Friday they end up kind of coming back somewhat into those ranges, right? And it's just kind of important when it's an OPEX week to just mark those areas on your chart and know what those possibilities are. Yes, after yesterday, it could have kept ripping up. Right? Adobe could have come in with great earnings, and the market would have had a hard time pushing us back down, into this, 445 area. But it's just important to always keep an eye on. So, does anybody have any questions about that OPEX week and kind of how that works? It's pretty interesting. If you do this every OPEX, you'll see that the percentages are. And I said this last time we had an OPEX week, and I did an example like this. It's just. And I've toyed around over the years with ideas of taking this level between the Thursday, Friday, and doing, an iron condor around it, or call credit spread and put credit spread on the highs and lows, to trade, because the price action gets trapped on OPEX weeks. Of course, the first time you try that, it's just going to rip. Nate, you remember, 4 or 5 months back, we were like, it's going to roll over, and it just ripped our faces off. So it doesn't always work. I promise. Billy Boy, this is Nate G. You can see over on the left my icon, which somebody changed for me. I'm guessing Nate Bear. Thank you, sir. But yeah, I mean, there's trades to be made on that price action coming back to the middle, because it happens more often than it doesn't. So anyway, I mean, I gave some consideration into shorting into the close yesterday, but it's you look at yesterday's price action. It's just so hard to say, yeah. I think I'm going to short here, right? You just had this trend up day. So anyway, that's that's what I wanted to come on and kind of show you. And I'll try to remember to do this every OpEx, and we can kind of count the ones that are that come back into that range. And it's not always exact. It kind of comes into range. I've also thought about doing when you get this close here or this gap, finding a nice number right around there, which in this case for me would be 445, and then doing a butterfly based on that on the Friday. Maybe you're doing you're spreading it, you're making it a little bit wider on the wings, but you're kind of targeting a move back into that area. Do I think the SPX would be a demand buy at the bottom? I mean, yeah, we're into some support levels. I kind of thought we would bounce off this 446 level. You can see, well, that's the SPY, but if we look at SPX, I was kind of thinking, they kind of go in tandem. But you want to hear something interesting, Nate? Yeah, but we do have a level here on the SPX that, the SPX VP is pretty interesting, right? You get a little bit of action. And then you get these single bars that just come straight out, which doesn't happen on most other names, which is pretty interesting. I thought we were gonna bounce off of this first bar at 447, but we did hold this one down here. So those are pretty key levels to watch in the SPY or the SPX. You know what's interesting, Nate? On the SPX. R 440. This is down here. I'll make it. Hold on. I'll make it orange, and then we'll name it Max Pain. I don't know why it won't go. There we go. Max Pain. Max Pain on the SPX is down here at 4450. But on the SPY, it's up here at 452. Isn't that interesting? You kind of think they would be running in tandem a little bit, or be somewhat similar, but they're way off, right? That makes no sense at all. And let me just verify I didn't get some wrong numbers there. Okay, so SPY 915. Where's my Max Pain here? Options 915. Max Pain 452 on the SPY. Okay, and then I go to Max Pain on SPX 915 4450. Crazy, right? It's crazy. Yeah, I mean that's where we put in this sort of inverted head and shoulders earlier this month. That level. But I just thought that was funny, the difference in the two. At any rate, does anybody have any questions about this OPEX business? I feel like, we're getting a little bit of a bounce here, but I feel like we're going to kind of bounce back up into this 450, 446 level on the SPY and just kind of go sideways. I kind of feel like we end up closing the week it's inside this box. That's what I'm thinking. Because we've made our move. We might get a bit of a bounce here because we're way oversold. But even if we kind of come up above it, I think we'll kind of there's a big chunk of VP here that we'll just kind of get stuck in because it's OPEX Friday and stall out. That's my thoughts. BX is almost. Look at this. Played this BX 30-minute chart, Nate, yesterday on this pullback. Isn't that a beauty? It's just about to hit target here at right around 115. No, Mark, Pipple is not next week. This is OPEX week. The Pipple low is the Thursday, Friday prior to OPEX week. Isn't that a beauty? Picked it up on this morning dip into this VP area, and then that's a 1-day hold, assuming we hit target. It's pretty nice. Hey, guess what though, Nate? Well, let's put that in the journal as a TPS trade that worked. Oh God, it's been unfriendly in the TPS category lately. This market. And normally I would do this out to the 1272, but I might leave a trailer to see if it'll give it to us, but I'm taking this off at the high. 1272 would be up here. 115.78. I mean, hell, I might take it off now. Or take some of it off. Close enough. What's VP say? Yeah, got through that level. Yeah, 1 for 50. We're looking good, baby. And MPC. I keep coming back to MPC because that was also a beauty. And my Costco, that 30-minute Costco worked out nicely. So there's some of them are working, right? But they're not the tech ones. You remember the ones that get away from you, like Netflix and IBM. What's IBM doing right now? I don't want to get sidetracked here because I want to take those profits. Oh, look at that jerk. Yeah, just rolled right back over with the market. And then what was the other one? Lulu, right? Yep. Jerks. Bunch of jerks. All right. Anyway, that was it. I just wanted to kind of come on and talk about that OpEx uh, situation. XPX is starting to get off the mat, but not with a lot of energy. Does anybody have any charts they want me to look at here? I'm going to stop my recording.